Under the moon's tightening wrists, leaning down to pet your dog, you looked up at me and shot the dog in its face. We fucked, and we fucked again. And when I came to, you were sucking me off, like my brain slow and aching. A rat's in a maze. It stops, grows, and it is the maze. Future stopped, coins, chips, and rippling cash, all bone white. Prayers ought to be castrated. Stand in the corner and taste my piss. Huge and silver condors vomiting. Stiff, gorgeous, pregnant, ablaze. Splintering back into my pale veins. Like angels with long red hair. Undressed, hands in our hair. Creation's groaning, do you, and yes, I'm raining up in me. Lights etched in my blood. Louder and louder, in spirals of dark. The same old lights full of whores. An old woman. No, look closely and see, she's just a child, bends over to pick at a small gray flower. This might be happening inside a star, or the shadow of a tank topped with a soldier. And look, he's floating on down. And look, he's reaching for her. And look, I've thrown up all over them. Marble tequila, rocket flapping, in the wind in its green-pink seizures. Quietly up on a balcony, wheeled round, I'm kissing myself and shaving and jerked off, and my mouth thrust up like a dog in heat. The sidewalk rolls up, bird cages cracked in me, swinging in and out. All right, these are all from my book, which came out like a year ago. I'm going to read a little from my books, another book, Skyrat, that's coming out in a few weeks from Spork. And let's see, here we go. All right. Yeah, Spork. With illustrations on it. The idea of tearing his balls off and stabbing him repeatedly appeals to me more and more. Ron equals sex equals Ron equals sex equals Ron equals sex equals Ron. Ron Sullivan approaches me in a bar. I like it rough, he says. I like it really rough. As quickly as we're talking, we're rubbing up against each other. I want you to shut my mouth, he says. Ron equals sex equals Ron equals sex equals Ron equals sex equals Ron. And rising now, out of a mountain of bubbles, wow, is the most gorgeous woman I've met yet, in all scarred blue eternities, waiting eager and flexed, a bit like Botticelli's Venus, but so much more, sensual, violent animal, available, and now, in a sky full of seething holes, in the rat hole. All right, I'll go back to it.
You're such a cheese!
We'll come back. We'll come back. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. A bride, young as a Barbie, holds onto an opened watermelon. Like a bee, its gold wings shuddering. A man and a woman climb out of a car and come bristling towards me, like a machete or a cake knife, orderly and jagged, soothingly, vicious and raw. I have learned to die, and not to. I am filled with silk. Encrusted with emeralds, stinking, ditched, boiling. I'm on the back of an elephant rubbing my pussy, blooming magic, night after night. Flowers, birds, and sun. Whore's meat hanged on my soul, glowing and moaning, a stabbed cosmos drooling. Scraped into rain. Scraped into rain. The sea's a spider, dancing in shit, spliced open like skulls and skin in my throat, semen, towering up, breasts sprouting, groaning, barking, screaming, a shore tumbling down and drops whitening. Are those old people still here? I'm an ageist. Here we go. In Vegas, Janie told me this. In Vegas, lilacs boiling, cool and dark, you begin to eat my ass, wiping your mouth from time to time, and glaring up at me like a vampire, a lion, a shaman, swaying, bubbling, seething, down into every nerve, cold white shore swaying, till at last you slide in a finger, then two, fist, elbow, shoulder, head, and you're inside me. And my breasts are your breasts, your cunt, my cunt, your slow, dark, heaving mouth, my slow, dark, heaving mouth. Waves and flowers, revolving in black lace gurgling, You're pushing me back down on the bed now, and you've got my wrists above my head, and you're eating me out, licking up between my breasts. It's dusk, lights wound up in a spiral, hooked through me like gut on fire. Your grip's tightening, I'm sinking, like fish in cool shade, birds like planets, all ripped up. All right, we'll go back to the skywriter.
Oh my god! You fucking cheater! Yes, the fuck!
All right, this part I like.
Don't try to lower.
You are fucking crazy, bro!
So was the head backwards?
Oh, come on!
It wants to be there.
Alright, this part is super.
Down, motherfucker!
Alright, this
Show us fucking
chauvinist. Castrating man,
There's some fucking old school titillation going on in here.
Can you chew a little
I was trying. That's me posing.
from your ass behind your head?
large men, bearded, lounging around on the motorcycles, guarding the ancient statues, and whistling "I fucked them all," turning. A clown on stage belts out a pop song, pulling at the pom-poms on his chest and stomach. No one trusts a clown or a cloud, and that's a good idea. Ron's got his arms around a tree, and his pants are around his feet, and he's begging me with his turgid eyes all a-glitter. I'm hoping he flirts at me, that we can do business. Purr. And the clown's fisting his gullet. Puff, puff. And he's gurgling. And now Ron's saying things like, "I want you to stick a steak fork in my shoulder while we're fucking.
Oh
and
my
baby,
God.
you can rub vinegar into my asshole while I'm blowing you.
Oh my god!
And don't let my screaming stop."
Visceral reaction.
Hey, the timing's really
Did you
important.
think you were gonna end it? I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
You're killing my timing.
Read all that.
Ron equals sex equals Ron. Goddammit. Sex equals Ron. Kill it now, she pleads. Yeah. Kill it now, she pleads. Just please kill it now. All right, we'll go back to the book now.
Hold on to the man.
This is the last lap around.
Cinnamon?
Cinnamon?
Hold on to the man.
Tastes like cinnamon.
Shut up there.
I should read birds.
Run, cinnamon.
All right. Spinning glorious, handsome, and weeping, like a fetus slow and heavy. I'm the beginning, clinging to myself. An animal I've skinned, carved up, crawled into. A dinosaur changing colors, slashed into light. I'm lost, and I'm lost. But I'm in a room with the president, and he's on his knees, a long, thin, curved penis. And I'm talking him into orgasm.
Oh my god!
Hey, you're that guy, he whispers, who shoves souls up into his crotch. Buildings shimmer violently outside the window, like a fetus slow and heavy. Yes, that's me, I sigh. Yes, that's me. Bits of cum are falling everywhere. In slices of bayonet music, I'm sewing you into a skull. You can fight it or be my slave. Primitive, dark and bony, spewing religion, gasping inside of me, the core of me, epileptic unfurled, guts ripped swans, bull's blood light. The stars glimmer like small blurred red flowers, and lying next to you, she presses a talon against her clitoris, swollen like fire, and rips up through her navel, chest, neck, teeth clench the top of her head, and it's all so brilliant and chic, she just absorbs it, lying back, arms spread, like the waves of a crucifix. Her eyes brighten, hardening pale, she bleeds out, a carnivorous flower. Jarred like a rat, in bed with a hard on sparkling petals shred dazzling round its head. You have such a kind face, she says, like making love to a corpse, scratching its face in its blood, The universe blossomed in every way. I know. All right, one more. Because we'll go back to this. All right. You guys know what he looks like? Let's go over.
Fuck off and right.
Ron equals sex equals equals sex equals Ron. Your voice and my blood's flying in circles. A dog chained to a fence shivering. I dreamed I was holding you and I'm in a bathtub, yes, filled with champagne, towns and rivers, and gnarled light willows growing up around me in the fizz, fizz, fizz. And hallelujah, yes, I'm the Messiah, again and again, yes, at the glorious moment of euthanasia. The lights in the tunnel, oscillating back and forth, make it seem like we're going nowhere. Yes, a cherry sizzling in gold ice water, and drift away, and drift away. Ron equals sex equals equals sex equals Ron. And drift away, my darling. Your voice and my blood's flying in circles. A dog chained to a fence shivering. I dreamed I was holding you in. Thank you very much.
Give it up for Rauan Klassnik. If you have nothing better to do tomorrow, I'll be reading at City Lights to celebrate William S. Burroughs' birthday. At 5 o'clock. Thank you all for coming.